Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's April 1st, 2019. I'm over in the work area, that building that's attached to the chicken coop, duck coop area, and the future greenhouse. And hopefully yesterday, you may have seen the video that I posted starting some seeds over here. Yesterday we started some red onion seeds and some King Richard leek seeds. And so today I'm over in here, well actually that was the day before yesterday, but hopefully yesterday I posted the video. And then yesterday I came over here and from a different supplier I got some little red onion bulbs, and I started those, and there'll be a little bit of information in this video about that. But what I did do was I took some 72 cell trays and I half filled them with compost from the compost pile that we have that I did last year. It wasn't sifted, it was just straight compost out of the compost pile. I filled the cells up about 50% with the compost. Then I came over here and used the soilless mixture, put it on top of it, and then I went ahead and took the red onion bulbs, these small bulbs, and sunk them down into the surface, then went ahead and watered them. Now if you saw the video that we posted yesterday, those red onion seeds and the King Richard leek seeds, we went through the process of how I take the soilless mixture, add water to it in 16-gallon Rubbermaid tubs, let it get absorbed into to the point where it's no longer dried out, where it'll suck all the moisture out of the seeds or the bulbs that we put in there. Then we spread it out in each one of the 72 cell trays, put those trays in a perforated tray and then in a non-perforated tray and then a support tray, water them after the seeds have been in it, and then put them on the racks. Well, one of the things I do after getting the seeds started and watered is we got to label them. And so this is green painter's tape. They used to call it frog tape when it first came out. I really don't recommend the blue painter's tape. That's a real bear if you're going to be reusing your seed starting supplies over and over again. Those blue painter's tape is really tough to get off. So we've been using this green painter's tape along with either the paint type marker, or this one is, what is this one? This is a Dura Ink Sharpie, and they work pretty well. And so because if you're doing enough seedlings, man, it can get out away from you before you know it. So like these little red bulbs that we got from Tractor Supply, I put the source, so here it is, Tractor Supply, the date that the bulbs where the seeds were started, which was 3/21/2019, and these are red Carmen Spanish onions. All of that information's there. And one of the things I'm going to try and do is share with you some of the techniques that we use ultimately for trying to see how well we're doing. When we expect the seeds to emerge, how well they're doing, are they getting too leggy, all sorts of factors that tell us about how stressed these plants are, how well the seeds actually germinate and the sources and all. But it also has a lot to do with the structure. So this has been a non-heated structure for years, and this is the first year that I put a little electric heater. It's, you know, the thing fits in my hand. So the temperature this winter, because we had such an extremely cold winter, and this is a super insulated building, and but the temperature got down to the point where I put some heat tape on the pipe that comes into the for the water to come into this building, because it got down to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the first time it's ever done that. It would get down into the 49, 51 degrees, but that would be about it. And that's when we had a lot of chickens in the coop area and all. But this year we had such a prolonged period of it being so cold, and even everything down below ground is trapped within insulated concrete forms, so it's super insulated even below the floor. So what we're doing is we're going to try and keep careful records on just how well the temperature is, the humidity. So that's something that's important for assessing. Sorry about the lighting here. Try to move over here. So here right now it's up to 60 degrees. It was probably in the mid 40s yesterday, or high 40s. You know, I don't know for certain because I just got in the batteries and this popped it in and then headed out. But we see what our outside temperatures are, what our inside temperature and humidity is as well. At this point, I don't have the fans turned on because it's so cold in here. That was an issue. I do have a couple of heat mats. I have one below the rosemary seeds that we started 2 days ago. But otherwise, I'm not using any other heat sources. Now, it's been below freezing. We got snow again last night and this morning, yesterday, last night, and a little bit this morning. And I think it's probably going to get up. The sun's out right now. It's going to get up above freezing today, which I'm really looking forward to. But I think keeping accurate records when you're starting your seeds really helps out an awful lot. The seeds, where you got them from, when you got them, how well they're stored, do they stay dry and in the dark and cool, and we keep them in the refrigerator here now. The long-term ones we put down in the root cellar, which I've posted videos in the past about that. But you know, to see how well you're doing over time and to learn from your mistakes throughout the process, that's one of the goals that we have. So this is the first time I've done this with these red onion bulbs. These are often just direct seeded in the ground around here. But we've had, for the last couple of years, such prolonged cold spells and all, that when I got the little bulbs, or the time I got them in the ground, they were already breaking down. They weren't doing very well. And they just had these on sale. I threw away about 10 to 15% of them. And some of these don't look great, but we have enough here at this point to see how well they're doing. I took a few, brought them into the house so I can compare those to ones that are on a heat mat in the house, and we'll see what the comparison is as well. So there will be a little bit of GoPro footage showing me loading up these seed trays. These are 72 cell seed trays with compost, putting some compost in there, then putting the soilless mixture on top of it, and then starting the onions inside of it as well. So any comments or questions, please leave them below. Mars Rover had asked a question, hey, have you guys started your seeds yet? I responded in a message back to him, but yeah, we're behind, and we're 2 weeks behind. The leeks, onions, and scallions, they all need to be started in Zone 5A, where we're located in Oswego, New York. They really should be started about mid-March. And so right now, the beginning of April is the time we want to start all of our peppers and tomatoes, those sorts of things. And I'll be starting some kale and some cauliflowers, probably some broccoli, and those later on today, which will probably get posted tomorrow. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. That's always makes life interesting for me as we go through this process. Otherwise, folks, give us a thumbs up if you think this was of value. I really appreciate the feedback. It helps us out an awful lot. Share it with your friends if you think this may be of value to your friends as well. And by all means, folks, have a great day. Bye-bye now.